Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A rogue bear's day-long adventure in Grand Forks ended with its sedation and live capture, but later its death. After spending a large portion of the afternoon in a tree, officials successfully tranquilized the bear before lowering it to the ground and taking it out of town. After checking the bear's condition and consulting with area vets, officials determined the bear would not survive and decided to euthanize it. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz asks what went wrong and how could they be better prepared for the next time a bear wanders into the area.
It looked like a victory.
It seemed to be healthy at that point. It seemed to be waking up maybe just a little bit, but they got the bear safely into the trailer.
Monday's Grand Forks bear on the loose, making it out alive. But soon after, news of the bear's death on social media. The Grand Forks police say following the tranquilizers, the bear could not survive the encounter. But Fargo's Red River Zoo veterinarian, who was called there later in the day to sedate the bear, says euthanasia was Game and Fish's plan even before the bear was drugged.
What we were told by Game and Fish, and we specifically asked because we wanted to know as well, there's no place to put the bear that would be safe and keep him away from humans. It's very likely, because of the fact that this was a lone bear exploring, that it would have wandered into another populated area.
He says authorities weren't trying to pull one over on us by keeping the bear alive just to later euthanize it.
The police are not biologists, they're not veterinarians, they're not animal people.
When I asked Grand Forks police about this, they say it was ultimately their call to euthanize the bear. And based on the bear's health, they felt they made the right decision. But when I asked which veterinarian gave them the latest health report, they couldn't tell me. Meanwhile, Dr. Colville saying the bear was in good health the day before.
Do you agree with the situation where they put this bear down, thinking it might have been healthy?
I don't have the knowledge of bear behavior and habitat that they have, so I honestly can't answer that question.
North Dakota Game and Fish says having to sedate the bear makes it harder to release it back into the wild because if hunted, there would be meat consumption issues.
Most of the time when these animals, when something has to be physically done to them by us humans, it's a lose-lose situation.
And with the bear's death, Grand Forks Lieutenant Derek Zimmel says they'll look back at this situation.
After any incident, we tend to look back on it and say, what are some of the lessons learned?
And try to do better in the future. Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
Local police tell us that, like in Grand Forks, the North Dakota Game and Fish Department is their first point of contact in a situation like this. But when we asked Game and Fish about their protocol, we were told that every situation is different. Isn't it great when we don't have to worry about the weather? Maybe the mosquitoes, but not the weather. Hutch, care to add to that?
Isn't it great when you don't have to worry about the weather? Yes, it's great, and it's a beautiful day. Nary a cloud across the region. Thunder shower, though, just to the south and to the east of the Bismarck area, dissipating as we've headed through the last hour or so. Just a couple lightning strikes. Still hot in the central part of South Dakota and eastern Montana, but those comfortable 70s in northern Minnesota. We'll be in the 70s for most of our evening. The sun sets at 9:16 here in Fargo, on our way down to overnight lows in the 50s. It looks like a quiet start to your Wednesday, but it could end with some thunder for some. I'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast here in just a minute. As far as the mosquitoes go, I'll leave that up to the experts.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hutch.
Yeah.
A Minneapolis daycare owner will have to complete mental health treatment along with her 10-year probation sentence for trying to hang a toddler. 43-year-old Natalia Correa was sentenced yesterday. Earlier, she pleaded guilty to attempted murder and third-degree assault. She also pleaded guilty to criminal vehicular operation for hitting a pedestrian and a bicyclist and another driver. Correa must follow court-ordered mental health treatment and will be on electronic home monitoring for at least 2 months. According to the complaint, a father was dropping off his son at the home when Correa led him toward the basement where he saw the toddler hanging from a noose. He released the child and fled with him. The 16-month-old boy survived. A truck is destroyed after it started on fire this morning. Authorities got the call around 9 to a home near Cragness, Minnesota. They found a 1997 truck that was fully engulfed. Crews put out the flames and cleared the scene in about half an hour. No one was hurt and no other vehicles or buildings were damaged. An electrical issue is believed to have started the fire. A pilot is dead after a crop duster plane crashed into the Missouri River near Fort Rice in Morton County. It happened around 3 this afternoon, less than a mile north of the Fort Rice boat ramp. Authorities say the plane was partially submerged in the water. A dive team with the Burleigh County Sheriff's Office was on the scene to help recover the plane. Cheyenne Street in West Fargo is open once again after being shut down all day. The major north-south artery is undergoing a complete rebuild, and today it had to be closed to traffic so crews could begin paving a part of the project. The new segment stretches from near I-94 north to 17th Avenue, and this is not likely the last time Cheyenne is going to have to be shut down. In fact, word is there will probably be another shutdown, perhaps as soon as the middle of next week. The Cheyenne Street corridor is being completely rebuilt from 13th to 40th Avenue West. The interchange at I-94 has been redesigned and is under construction as well. The total project is expected to take 2 years. Your evening commute could be a major headache if you take I-94 or University Drive in the metro. Construction on University Drive has more lanes closed than before, and this prompted major backups east and west on I-94 near the University exit. Crews are removing the median on University, bringing traffic down to 1 lane. The work is expected to be complete in a week to 10 days. A Colorado mom is turning her scary situation into a learning experience for other parents after she says her 3-year-old daughter almost died when she got trapped in the family's new washing machine. Lindsay McIver wrote in a Facebook post that her 4-year-old son woke her and her husband up, saying his sister was in the washing machine. McIver says they rushed downstairs to find their daughter locked in, and it was tumbling and filling with water. They were able to stop the machine and pull their daughter out, saying she only had a few bumps on her head. McIver says soon after they found a child lock setting on the machine, and they're warning other parents to look into it. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with local washing machine experts on what to do to keep your kids safe in the laundry room.
It's just about anything with an electronic control. We'll have the control lock now.
Control locks. That's what Chris Matthews says parents of young kids should be turning on after they're done with laundry for the day.
And that's going to prevent unwanted use of the machines. It just keeps the controls from getting activated. And try and hit start, nothing happens. It just says that it's locked. So you can't get any water in the machine, and then the door won't lock. So you'll be able to either push it from the inside or the outside.
He says with the controls on, curious kids can still get inside the washer, but it's not going to start or lock up.
If we were to unlock it here, and that way when you start it, it will lock. And then you're locked in. You're either locked in or out of the machine.
Matthews says both front-facing and top-facing machines have the control locks, but says the latter is harder to get into, making it a little bit safer for kids.
You almost have to have the kid get, crawl up and in there, and they never fill with water. So they just use a very small amount of water with most of these. So there's really not a major drowning hazard.
But beyond child locks, Matthews says it's important to keep an eye on your kids and steer them away from the laundry room.
If there's a door on the laundry room, you make sure that's closed. Just keep the kids away from the machines.
In Moorhead, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
McIver's Facebook post has been shared over 322,000 times. If you haven't been able to wear your Hawaiian shirt yet this summer, we have an event for you. From food to a limbo contest, West Fargo Parks is putting on their Hawaiian Beach Blast this evening. The event has fun activities for both adults and kids like mini golf, belly bumpers, a bubble station, mini golf, and much more. West Fargo Parks hopes this will get you out and enjoying this summer.
It's just a great way for people to interact with each other, get to know their neighbors, and really just feel like we're a part of a community.
Hawaiian Beach Blast runs from 5:30 to 7:30 tonight at Rendezvous Park. A business-savvy Minneapolis boy is selling hot dogs to make extra summer cash to buy school clothes. And word got around fast, including to the health department, where someone made a complaint. But when people learned the hot dog stand might shut down, they sprang into action. Until that complaint was made last month, this is how Jaquan Faulkner had been spending his summer, selling hot dogs and building a clientele. But someone noticed all the attention and called the city. Since the complaint, Jaquan says he's surprised to see his hot dog stand is growing and his clientele is increasing. Instead of shutting it down, the city of Minneapolis stepped up to the challenge. Local groups such as Appetite for Change pitched in to help. Staff from the Minneapolis Health Department, the Minneapolis Promise Zone, and others helped the boy bring his stand up to health codes. Some health department staff even chipped in to help pay for the $87 permit. Jaquan's old-fashioned hot dogs passed its inspection and is now open for the first time as a city-approved stand.
Surprisingly, I'm like, dang, the city not the bad guys in this situation. These are actually the ones who helping me.
Jaquan hopes to buy a food cart for next summer.